is an educational specialist and enthusiast in being in It's great to have you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So let's have us ngawe ke sizwe ukuthi kulesikhathi siyabona ke abantu abasha bazama upskilla ngaso sonke isikhathi. Why is it so important to be njalo?
I think the most important reason is because we live in such an ever-changing world, and the skills you've acquired 5 years ago may be relevant today. So it's very important that we keep our skills updated, upgraded, and added, because what you might have learned 5 years ago, for example, in technology, and technology in any space for that matter, engineering, agriculture, media, anything, has changed in the past 5 years. So what you have learned in school, for example, via a degree 5 years ago, might not be useful for you at the workplace today. And that's why it's vital for us to keep that learning up to date.
And Thobo, what do you add?
Yeah, well, same to her, is, the universities that we go to and institutions of higher learning normally have these job redundancy studies that show that, and there's one that I was actually particularly taken aback to, that was saying that students on their second year of studies, or first year and second year of studies, on average, the courses that they are studying for will be taken over by robots, so that is something that is actually quite alarming, and we do our part to try to get students to always upskill themselves. If you are doing a degree that is going to take you 4 years, how do you know that that job is not going to be taken over by robots and systems in the next 5 or 10 years? Or are you studying for something that is going to be redundant in the job market?
And speaking of redundancy, guys, what are the qualifications to have as Katinsa Manje in order for you to bonagale as competitive in the market?
Yeah, well, I'll take that one because I brought up the issue of redundancy, and it's just how the world is flowing. Right now borders are open. You could be sitting in New York and doing work for a company based in South Africa, Joburg, or vice versa. You don't have to be there physically. So as borders are collapsed, we need to also, as South Africans or Africans, go with the pace that the world is going in. I like what the previous guest spoke about, to say, in an ever-changing world, how are we upskilling ourselves? Those small and short courses that we could be taking could be what is going to set you aside from other professionals in your field.
And what are those courses to take? I must know.
So in my opinion, tech would be the top.
Yeah.
Anything tech related. So whatever career you are in, you can integrate tech into it. No matter what level of tech it could be, but tech in any space. So I'll give you an example with a very mundane, maybe entry-level job. Like, myself, especially the ladies, sifuna reception, admin, sifuna those jobs, esingafuni a lot. But even in those jobs, the technology has advanced. When abazali bethu were starting to work, bakusebenzisa i-typewriter, right? So bowusebenzisa i-typewriter, and then the years advanced, and then we were using the big computers, enomsila or whatever you want to call it. That is redundant now, and then now we're using laptops to an extent that e-laptop yako might be touch screen. So you might have learned to use the QWERTY keyboard on the ASDF way, and then what happens when it's a touch screen, because now you can't place your fingers the way you're drawing upon. So that's what I'm saying. Anything in your specific field, your technology has to be on par with that. Whatever you are doing, however mundane. So for example, the post office is going redundant simply because our updating technology. So just to give your work or your capacity a little bit of technology will give you that competitive edge, because again, like Thobo has said, we are working international now. So how are you going to go international if you want to physically be there?
And Thobo, I'd like to bring you back into the fold and find out, Tubuti, just how flexible are employers these days? Because you hear someone saying, I can't go back to school because my employer actually won't allow me. Schedule is too tight for me to even be at school, and how flexible should the employers be for their people to be able to be exposed to these opportunities and go and upskill themselves?
Yeah, it's in their best interest. It's in their best interest. I'm an employer. I employ 300 young people, and it's in my best interest. And I always get excited when our HR officer or our accountant is doing a short course. We try to encourage that, that even if the very least, if we can't sponsor them to go for that conference or to go do that short course, at least make it a bit flexible for them, try to get them transport, after hours, because it's in our best interest, because that person is going to come with new skills that are going to make things better for us. I'll give you an example. So at our business, we used to use a certain accounting software, and it was actually not an online software, so it had to be connected to the local network. So it only took one of the employees, once they did a course on an accounting software, particularly, that they're like, that software that we're using, you can actually get it online. And guess what? I can be here and the guys are working, and I can be able to see the reports for the day. I can see our expenditures, I can see the income, and everyone can work from home. So even during COVID, it was very easy for us to work from home, because you just logged into the portal and you're able to do your work remotely. So I think as employers, it's in our best interest, and we should actually get excited and encourage our employees to go do these courses.
And Gladys, is the public broadcaster that kind of an employer as well, that allows people to go and upskill themselves even when they're still within the work stream, like flexible and open for people to go and get learning skills?
It's very important to us to do that. And continuous learning is something that we value. It's one of our values in the organization. So it's not just the graduates coming in that we ensure they are provided continuous learning, but from the graduates all the way to executives. Continuous learning is important. We have an online learning program that allows us to ensure that wherever you are in the organization, you are learning. So that is important. It's a value. And as,
the whole purpose of this is to just say that, you have to really upskill yourself. Upskilling in the sense of knowing how to do the job, whatever job it is. And we should also just start to dignify entrepreneurship, because you don't need to be employed. Most of the time we think you need to get, because that degree is just for you to get, it's a passport for you to get in the door of the corporate world. But if you know how to do something naturally good at, and you are able to take a short course, some 6 months, 1 year, and you are able to just upskill yourself just to have a bit of credibility. The main thing is to get a customer, 2 customers, 10, 100, and before you know it, you are even doing better than somebody with that degree that you desire. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay.